Hello, everybody, and welcome to Juiced. I'm Tierney, and today I'm here with the boys from the Plan. Thank you for coming in, boys, today.
No worries.
How are you feeling? You feeling good?
I'm feeling all right.
Good, good. Okay, so, boys, if you had to describe your music in a sentence, what would you say?
I'd say like 90s alternative, like grunge slash rock type of thing. What about you?
I'd probably say the same. Sort of very alternative and very. No, we want to go more on a sort of in your face sort of vibe going, but keeping the melody structure so it actually catches someone's ear instead of just loudness.
So it's like not just punk, like where it's just like wow, 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 wow. There's like a melody and a structure, and you're telling stories. That's sort of the vibe that you're giving.
That's
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Cool, cool. Sounds very cool. So any artists that inspire you, or can you pinpoint an artist or a live gig or anything like that that inspired you to start playing music?
Do you want to go first?
I'd say. I'd say. I don't know. The first concert I ever watched was when I was about 4, and it was Live Aid. I was watching my dad watching it just behind the couch, and I don't know. That was sort of the first sort of
Memory
thing.
that you've got of music.
That's probably when I started picking up the guitar too.
So you played from a young age.
Yeah. For me, it was I remember when I was probably about 3 or 4, and I remember watching on like YouTube and that Green Day Bullet in the Bible, which is the American Idiot like world tour at the time, and it was the biggest concert they've ever done, and it just made me realize that this is what I really want to do, just like this
Yeah,
as a
that's what I
musician.
want to be. That's
Yeah.
what I want to do.
Because I just feel like interacting with like fans and not many people, it's just like such like an adrenaline feeling, and it's something I just really wanted to feel for like ages. So it just made me realize like I just want to start doing gigs and that.
So, what sort of inspired your music style? Like, how did you come together? How did the band get started?
I'll let you get started with this one because you're the
So-
only core member left.
This is a bit of a long story. I'll try and make it as brief as possible.
Shit.
That's fine. You can. It can be a long story, but not too long.
I'll say Matt. I'll let you say yours and then I'll say
So-
mine.
The band, the plan has been going for about what? About 3, 4 years now, something like that. But it originally had different members. It was originally a high school band.
Right. Okay.
But then that sort of broke apart because like the other members had like different aspirations or whatever. So, which fair enough. So, I just kept writing my songs and all that, and I just kept looking. I went through a lot of other people.
It just wasn't the right fit.
No, it was just like some people are quite hard to work with, you know what I mean? And then others like are really nice to work with, but they just don't have the sort of the skills to back it up, which you just gotta be picky with stuff like that and find which matches you. Because at the end of the day, this business is, you know, it is a business and we're a product and we need to promote ourselves. So we need the right people to do that, especially if you're in a band.
Yeah, you've all got to be on the same page, haven't you?
Exactly.
I was in a band at the time, and then I think 2 or 3, no, last year even, Jamie messaged me on a messenger because we knew each other from high school, but we weren't like on the talking thing because I was in the year above, so I was quite intimidating to you at the time. And then you messaged me just like talking about music, and then just like, oh yeah, if your band say it doesn't work out, there's always a place here for you. Funny enough, the band didn't work out because we just stopped talking to each other. We're still mates, but we just stopped making music. So I messaged Jamie, and then we were looking for a drummer. And then there was someone. Then I met Hope in my college at the time, so we brought her on, and then she just turned out to be the drummer for the band.
That's really
And
cool.
and then you brought on Lewis, didn't you?
Brought on Lewis, yeah. Lewis is a rhythm guitarist.
Mm.
He's a cool
And then
guy.
he's just been in the band since.
That's really cool, boys. So, how do you think the dynamic then, like between you all, is it a really strong dynamic? Do you all put like your different influences into the music, or is it mainly you write the songs, you write your parts, or do you all mix in together?
So I'll write all the songs, just purely for the fact that, I mean, I think you and hope. I mean, they're more than capable of writing a song. It's just I
Yeah.
think it's you know, when you're just in your bedroom at night or whatever, and it's like 3 o'clock in the morning or something,
Yeah, and you're getting those songs coming
and
in
you
your
just
brain.
it all floods in. I mean, the first album I written on the album couch. It was like it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. Got school the next day, 15, and you know, just other, you know, some things are more important, and that was what was important to me at the time. So stuck
Yeah.
with that.
So, if you had to support anybody then, dead or alive, who would it be? Dream artist?
Ooh, for me, it'd be Green Day, 100%. Because, like, they're my favourite band of all time. Like, it's the one I grew up on. It's what, like, put me onto, like, out of, like, pop music off the radio, and that made me realise there's more, like, genres out there for music. So I feel like I'd have to, like, give them a piece of, like a favour back, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So for me, it'd 100% be Green Day and that.
Anyone for you?
Probably Mad Season, definitely, because I don't know, it had like a weird sort of bluesy, jazzy thing going on, but also had like a very hard thing going on as well. It was quite sweet music, and it's just the type of stuff you listen to when you've had a drink or something. It's great.
Okay. So, what's your favourite? What are your favourite artists? What are you listening to then at the minute?
Ooh, at the minute, I'm kind of listening to, like, like, not like popular artists, but like very underrated, like bands like As December Falls, The 19s, Saint Motel. Oh, there was one the other day.
Are these local artists, by the way?
19s are local. They're from, well, some of them are, 19s are from my uni, and so are like Red Zenith and that. So I'm obviously mates with them, so I've got to support them, kind of thing. But like bands like Don't Forget Rupert from Nottingham, Saint Motel from LA, I think. Yeah, and there's a band called Rare Migrants who I'm really addicted to at the minute, who are from Canada, and they are really, really like completely underrated. So for me, it's just like not underrated artists that just need to get like out
The
there.
exposure.
Yeah,
Um, I've been listening to a lot of Temple of the Dog recently, which is a great band. It's kind of it's got Chris Cornell in it and Eddie Vedder, and that was just
Is it like a super group that they formed or something? Is it like, or is it a project?
It's just it was just like a side project in the 90s. It was great, but yeah, it's just been jamming out to that.
Cool. So, what does the future hold for the plan then?
we were working on our EP before obviously COVID hit, weren't we? And since studios have been open to reopen, we've just been going in and just been like writing and recording and doing all that. Because we currently got 3 singles out on like Spotify now. So like Don't Hurry Now, 757, Crows, which are all part of the EP. But we're still working on another 7 songs, aren't we? I think we got 4 or 5 down, haven't we?
So, is that material that you've written whilst you've been during lockdown, or is that? And did you do that remotely, or have you done it together, or?
Well, we were doing that remotely, but I mean, we were in the studio. We
Yeah.
were in the studio for about 8 hours the other day, and we were coming up with some pretty cool.
Like how it
stuff.
usually works is Jamie writes like a little chord sequence and like a little melody
Yeah.
and lyrics and that, and then he brings it in, shows us and as the band, and we just go like, okay, we've seen this, so what can we add from our own skill set to make it sound unique and more like dynamic, if that makes sense.
Yeah, to build up the song.
Yeah. So like you read the groundwork and we just like build it up till it's like perfection level type thing, ready to
think
be out
that-
there.
So, when are you planning to release the EP then? When's that coming out? Have you got any plans for? Or are you
Well-
dropping singles? How are you doing it?
What we'll do is because we spoke about this, and I think we're ready to go with it now, aren't we?
Yeah.
With last year? I think it was last year. I've got a terrible memory. Last year, before I met you?
It must have been.
I went to Seattle to do some gigging. So it was before the whole COVID thing happened.
Wow. So you just
Um,
went out and hit the road and went on a solo.
Yeah, this was like way before you met us.
Just I don't know. It's probably just because all my favorite artists have went from there. It was a brilliant time. Actually, it was great. We were sitting in this old motel, had gunshots on the walls and everything.
Oh
It was
my goodness. So did it inspire you? Did it inspire you in terms of your writing and things like that when you went over there? Do you think that's changed your music style in any way or your writing style in any way?
honestly, I think it was more a thing of like you hear that saying, don't you? Like travel broadens the mind. And I think it was just seeing like the other people's culture and that. It was a bit weird. Like I felt quite at home there. I'm not gonna lie, but I didn't want to stay. But it was, I mean, it was it was in this proper experience. Like it was great.
Cool. So, boys, tell me then, what sort of, in terms of gigs and things like that, how are you gonna push through that going forward? And also, what do you think about the retraining scheme? Do you have any points on that, any views on that, or?
I think we were gonna do, for gigs. We originally were gonna do one before COVID hit. 'Cause we were supposed to do that on the ground one, weren't we? Don't know if that's still going ahead. And also for the retraining scheme, it's just a load of bollocks, to be honest. For fucking Rishi Sunak, like honestly, the government for these lack of support for the arts. Because before I met you, I was a sound engineer for local bands and for theatres, and with like seeing like the Everyman and like the Epstein closing down, it's just a bit of a disappointment, to be honest.
I know exactly, and there's like venues everywhere closing down, isn't there?
Yeah,
Zanzibar's closed
Yeah,
down.
the Zanzibar. There's
Jack Records. There's a lot of things that are closing down. So
yeah, it's just depressing to see that like, even though like the arts as a whole make billions upon billions to the economy, the government's showing like nothing back.
no,
if that
no
makes sense.
support at all
Exactly.
for it.
It's just a bit of a disappointment, to be honest.
Okay, so boys, anything else that you'd like to add in terms of where they can find your music, where people can like come and see you in the future, anything like that?
You can follow us on Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, Deezer, etc. on every music streaming platform under the Plan Merseyside. We've got our latest single Crows out now,
Yeah.
and we've also got our two other singles from our EP, Don't Hurry Now and 757.
We've also got some pretty good things in the works as well.
Exactly.
So on what is it, on Sunday? On Sunday we'll be shooting a music video for Crows.
Yeah.
Very
And,
exciting.
Next year we'll be going back to Seattle, this time with the boys and recording an album there, which would be great.
And then we've
So-
also got our first album out on
Exactly.
Spotify,
So-
Walking By.
That'd be great.
Cool. Well, thank you for coming down, boys. It's been really good to chat to you.
No worries.
Just before you go then, bit of juicy gossip. Anything juicy that you can let me know about yourselves or the band? Anything that you've got up to?
Just a lot of writing, isn't it, at the minute? Nothing really like that juicy.
I mean, jumped into a drum kit last
Oh,
Saturday.
yeah.
Well, there you go. That's juicy, boys. Come on. I'm sure you've done some juicy things.
So we had a photo. So we were in the studio last Saturday, was it?
Last Saturday.
Last Saturday, and we had this one of our mates, Louise, come and do a photo shoot. And literally, before she even came, this was like hours before, Jamie just stops everything and just goes, just to let you know, Hope, who's our drummer, just to let you know, as soon as we do this filming for this song, I'm jumping into that drum kit. So we literally had to tell her to like prepare to move.
She dived out the way.
She
It was-
proper
it was
like
great.
dive bombed out the way.
You just seen her little legs.
So, literally, we couldn't get you out there. It took all of us to get you out there. 'Cause every time you tried to get you up, you just took a piece of drum kit with you.
Go big or go home.
It's quite wild then, boys, in the rehearsal room and when you're gigging and things like that. What is the show like? Like, tell me about the stage show. Like, so what is the vibe like? If I was coming to see you, what am I getting?
So what you'd it's great. Like we're not we're not the best musicians out there. Like we're not
far
the greatest,
far
but
from it.
you know, when we go on there, I don't know if you're allowed to say this or not, but we don't give a fuck. No, we don't. We have this attitude where, like, if you like us, great. If you don't give a shit, we're gonna go out there and we're gonna put our art in.
Yeah.
So that's what matters to us. And as long as we feel good when we go off that stage and we've put on the best show possible and just let everything come out, that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
And in terms of like you said, you know, a lot of people. There's like a circle of musicians that you hang on with. Do you all support each other? Do you all go and see each other?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Like, there's a band which I would recommend to everyone called Silver Million. They're great. The Lee and Gareth, bloody brilliant. They promote us, we promote them. You know, and that's the thing in the local scene. Is also Project Nevada.
Oh yeah.
Get
Yeah,
them.
I found that as well. I think that like here, especially being a music city, you know, Manchester, things like that. It's the local scene. You do really support each other, and I think it's
Yeah.
good. Like you bring each other up together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like for me personally, because I'm currently a uni student studying music, so I've got like I said, like people from Red Sound after 19s, and I've also got an artist called Abby Rose Kelly who's in my class who's really, really, really underrated and is really good. But that we all support each other. Like Abby did an open mic night a few weeks ago. I know you and Lewis went down to do some songs there.
Where was this at locally?
Yeah, this was at the Philharmonic Bar. And then whenever the like 19s or the Red Zenith or whatever band or artist does like a gig, like an outside gig, we always go and support just because it's like because we're local and we always have to have each other's backs. Because in reality, even though we're all different people, we're like a massive family.
Yeah. So do you think that's what I was going to ask you as well? Do you think then in terms of like what's out there at the moment on your scene and like the circles you're playing in, what makes you stand out then from everybody else?
I'd say we're dead like energetic and we're not like afraid to like give it all we've got, if that makes sense.
I think that's the main thing. Like we all bring different things to the band, which I think's what makes us work first and foremost. I mean, these guys who I'm with, these are I stand for. You know what I mean? That's who I'm with. They're my brothers. That's what I'm gonna do.
Exactly.
So, when we've got that bond and we go out there on stage, if you don't have that bond, the crowd can feel it. You gotta have the charisma. You gotta have everything. I'm not ashamed to say it. We've got that.
Like it's got to be authentic, hasn't it? There's got to be a relationship there between you. It's like you can't be put together and just be like go out on stage and create that chemistry. Like like you said, it's got to be from.
It has to be made.
Yeah.
Like 100% has to be made. Like before I met you, this is going way back. Before we met you in high school, like even though we knew each other existed, we'd never really talked to each other because obviously I was in the year above.
Yeah.
So he messaged.
Like primary school as well.
Yeah, we knew each other in high school.
Isn't that weird? Like so, like all the way through your lives, you've been there.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's just come together, and like it's like it was meant to be almost.
But like
always.
me and Jamie, we didn't start talking till I was in college. You were in year 11, weren't you? Just finishing high school. So we've protected because even though we've known each other, we've only been speaking for 2 to 3 years about music and that. Which is it's weird to think, especially since we got to let's say primary school and that. But it's just one of them things. Like if you don't like put your social skills out there, you're just not gonna make it in the industry. If that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Any plans for Christmas, boys? What you doing?
Well,
Staying home.
Socially distanced Christmas.
We got this last thing coming up, the music video on Sunday. That's gonna be our last practice. Another 8 hours there.
Last thing of the year.
Oh yeah, sorry. That's what I did want to ask you about the music video. So what's the vibe of the music video like?
Well,
I think we're just filming it in a pirate, aren't we?
we're gonna film it. I've got all the ideas. Again, I'm a massive bloody insomniac, so I'll stay up all night and go
I
on
feel
the
you, bro.
ideas.
So that's a complete difference between me and you.
I
Like,
know, yeah. I'm messaging him at about 4 o'clock in the morning. He wakes up to messages.
Yeah, like I can sleep because I'm a student. I can sleep every night fine, good in 7 to 9 hours. He sleeps for like a day. He's proper nocturnal, and then just like stays up for the next 2 days.
Right.
And then get back to sleep, don't
the
you?
tunes.
Yeah,
Life of an artist.
exactly.
Yeah, it is. I find that though, like when you're writing songs, like most of the time, it's when I'm falling asleep that it comes into my head, and sometimes it annoys me because I think, oh, I'll remember that because it's so good, and when I wake up in the morning, it's gone, and I hate myself for not like writing it down or like putting it down. So
It's just so
I understand what you mean. Yeah.
I mean, them types of thoughts only come in like late at night when you're just by yourself and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of them.
Exactly.
All right. Well, cool, boys. Thank you for chatting with me. Hope you've had a good time.
No worries.
I've been Tierny, reduced, and I'll see you again. Thank you. Bye.